Warriors, it's me, LC, founder of Hope and Recovery Network, your host for the Rise Up Recovery YouTube channel. And what's up? Your motivator for this Hump Day Live recovery motivation video. Come on, man. This is a beautiful day to be alive. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we woke up this morning? We're not busted. We're not disgusted. We're not out scratching and scheming and scamming to get some what we think that we needed to survive. Man, we are breathing in and out, living life. Whoa! Amazing, right? I mean, sometimes you just got to take a moment and celebrate how far you've come. We get so caught up in the day-to-day, mundane routines and things of life, man, that sometimes we forget that if we start our day in gratitude and appreciation and we celebrate our wins, then we set ourselves on a momentum to conquer a day, not just go through a day. You feel me? I love it, man. I love my recovery life. It is far greater than any high I have ever experienced in the world in substance. Just hands down. I used to think when I would hear people say that they were high on life and all that other crap, I used to think they ain't hit the right thing. They ain't hit the right bump. These people just don't know what they're talking about. But let me tell you, man, when you become so self-aware and begin to start treating yourself like a beautiful confidant and start treating yourself like an amazing friend, when you start treating yourself like someone that you cherish, you do start to experience life in an entire different way. Let me tell you what recovery is about. Can I tell you this? Here's the secret. Retrain your brain. That's all. That's all. It's not outside of you. What you're looking for, what you're searching for, your happiness, your stability, it's not outside of you, man. That is the good secret of what we're doing here. It is all on the inside of you. Everything that you came to this earth with, every gift, every seed of greatness, it's already in you. And, all of us that have been, sometimes I go back and forth on it, disease and all of this other stuff because it sounds hopeless when you say the word disease. But I really believe that the most highly called, highly purposed, the ones that were going to make such a difference on this earth have been afflicted by the disease of addiction because something was trying to take you out before you could unleash on the world exactly who you are and the gifts and the seed and the fruit that you possess. Something tried to stamp that out. But let me tell you, man, you're still here. There is your sunshine for the day. You're still here, which means you have not reached your destiny yet. So your destiny is still in front of you. And that it doesn't matter where you've been or what you've done in life. And we've all had some amazingly traumatic things happen to us in this life. It's not to excuse. It's to stand on that, to make that your platform, to rock this world, to rock this life that you've got. Not everybody that used last night are here with us today. You are. I am. There is something valuable in that realization, in that appreciation. Because we know that all of those that have lost their lives to this disease, every one of them have our backs. For when we feel weary in this fight, in this revolution, in this movement, they're all standing there cheering us on. It is again up to us to let their lives and their legacies move on with us through this movement. Because see, their stories and their lives change as many lives as our redemptive recovery stories do as well. So look, this is how we hack this thing. We retrain our brain, and that means we disrupt our old routines, we disrupt our old mindsets, and in place of that, when we pull up our weeds, when we chase our root causes of addiction and we yank them up and we deal with them and we put them to bed, then we fill that hole with some of the most amazing resources we can put our hands on. We become the best version of ourselves possible. That I believe with all of my heart and life and might is what we're here to do, is become the most amazing versions of ourselves. And each one of you, each one of us hold greatness. We are greatness. We are love. We are diversity. We are unity. And that is what will conquer this whole revolution. That is what this movement is about. It's about combining together in all of our beautiful, flawed diversity and reaching every single solitary human being on earth. That's how we do it. It takes each one of us and our different and special talents to be able to grab hold of every single person. Let's leave no excuses out there. Let's let no individual human being suffering with the disease of addiction on this planet be able to say they can't relate to somebody. One of us has to be able to relate to them. So very quickly, man, all I want to talk about today, my biohack for the day, is to change our awareness about our issues. Let's begin to identify more with the lessons of our past and of our now. Let's identify more with the lessons than we do the pain of a situation. See, that's what we've done. We've identified with the pure pain of the situations in our life. And we have to crawl under that pain, go beyond it, man, and start finding the lesson. Finding the lesson, the purpose in your pain, the message in your mess, the blessing in your lesson. There is something in there that is there to grow you. But when we stay fixated on how unfair it is that it happened to us, when we stay fixated on why it happened to us, why me, why did this have to happen to me? Why am I so neglected? Why was nobody there for me? Why did I get handed this hand? Why? Then we fail to see the beauty that can come out of it, the ways that we can learn to revamp our lives, to be able to see our life in a completely different light, to become grateful for the lessons, to make our pain our platform for success. That rocket that we can launch of desire, and that rocket that we can launch of motivation, and that rocket that we can launch of the best possible version of us. We cannot afford to get stuck in the muck, Mary Huffman. We cannot afford to get stuck in the muck. Let me tell you, when we get stuck in the muck, we stop swimming. And just like sharks, we know that if we stop swimming forward, we die. We go backwards. And we cannot afford for 1 second to let our guard down and stay and remain stuck in the muck. We must go underneath the muck and find the blessing in the lesson. We must find the lesson. We have to find what is there that is trying to work with us, not against us. See, so many of us have this belief and understand this, that our entire lives, either in our failures or our successes, they are all dependent upon the beliefs that we have. And a belief is simply a thought that we have thought over and over and over and over and over again. That is how we form beliefs. So if you change your thoughts, then you'll change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, you'll change your life. And that's a guarantee. And I'll put my life, my name, my reputation, everything on it. Because I know it to be true. I'm sitting here living proof of it. Look, I do some things that are strange, man, by the world's standard, but I don't care. I tried living my life by the world's standards, and you know what it got me? Broke, busted, disgusted, addicted, miserable, attempting suicide, praying for death with every second of my awake life, trying to check out at every moment possible. Let me tell you, the world standards ain't my standards, baby. I gotta be me. I gotta be my unique, true self. And so do you. Whenever you throw down what's expected of you out of the world and you pick up that best version of you and learn and just throw off caring about what other people think of you or how they will approve or disapprove. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because at the end of it all of those people that we have killed ourselves to try to impress ain't gonna be there when it's time for us to go. All that's going to be there standing around our deathbed is the dreams and that we did not fulfill, the gifts that were given to us that we did not share with the world, all of the regret of every single idea that we had and never acted on is going to be there. None of those people that we cared so much about their approval are going to be there with us. So we've got to find a way to make it not count now. What counts only. And you will understand your only true happiness will only come when you get bold enough and confident enough to live your true you truth. I bet I couldn't say that fast. Your true you truth. Plain and simple. We have a deep internal knowing of what we are supposed to move towards. We know it. We feel it on the inside of us. Even if in New Recovery it's so deep and covered up because of all the cloudiness that we've clouded over. You see, the substance, again, I'll say this every time, the substance is a byproduct of a way much bigger issue that was there before the substance ever came in. Many of us began to drink or use to come out of our shell. Many of us were thought so painfully shy because more than likely we had something inside of us that we were afraid the world would think was weird. We would be teased about, or we would be ridiculed about, or whatever. And from there began this infection that infected our lives until we found substances that would excuse us from that or give us an escape from that for just a little bit of time. Whew. I love to get on those rampages, man. They just come from the Spirit, and it's like I have so much breath that I don't even take a breath in saying all that. But what I'm saying is this. We spend far too much time being far too aware of every obstacle that is stopping us, every other person's thought of us, that so many times we do ourselves such a disservice by never finding out who we truly are. Now look, my root, and those things, those your true selves, those infections, those early infections, those beliefs, those are your root causes of addiction. That is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about finding your root causes. Trace that thing back all the way down to its very root. See, we can dig a little bit and think we pull a weed up, or sometimes we pull it and we tear off enough that it's under the surface still, but we don't see that there's still a root attached. So guess what? No matter how far down you thought you got with that weed, if you didn't pull it up by its root, guess what? When you come out the next morning, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be affecting the garden of your mind, the garden of your life. So we have to trace those roots. Yank them up with all your might. It doesn't mean sitting in them and wallowing in them and crying and blaming and shaming and all of that stuff, because it's useless. If you're still blaming and shaming yourself, you're wasting your time, because it will not help you on your journey. It won't. It will not. So throw down blame and shame. Throw down depression and anxiety. Toss it down. When it tries to come on you, stop it immediately, grab a hold of it, and in its place, put a better feeling thought. If it's fear you suffer from, then think about the best case scenario of a situation versus imagining the worst case, because that's what fears are. Many of them we're just basing on a past experience, and they are things that have not and may not even happen. Of course it's hard to do, Shelley Mart. It is, because we're retraining our brain. But the more we do it, the easier it becomes. And the faster that we begin to arrest those thoughts and shift them, then the easier it becomes. Because the faster we arrest those things, the less time they have to sit and soak down into our spirit. Have you ever cooked bacon and then put it down on a paper towel? Well, if you pick it up real quick, the paper towel won't be filled with grease. But the longer you let it sit there, the deeper the grease goes, the more drains off. You can see it on the paper. So the longer we let those thoughts and emotions and fears and worries sit there, the more they seep down on the inside of us, and they start here and they just soak all the way down until they get to our spirit. And by the time they get to our spirit, you see, way down here, I'm going to show you this, way down here in your knowing gut, in your soul, your spirit, that's where your relapse lies. It's the lion behind the bush. And it is waiting for you to let it seep all the way down until you get to it, which is relapse. So it can jump on your little gazelle and tear it apart. And before you know it, there we are. Do you know that we get into an emotional relapse quicker than we get into the substance relapse? The emotional relapse comes before the substance comes. The substance is just when we've had enough and we have to reach out for the escape. That's what's really happening. See, the relapse is the byproduct of where we have allowed ourselves to get mentally and spiritually. That's what that is. And see, if we begin to take hold of those thoughts. Now look, it's hard in the beginning. I started this stuff a few years ago. I'm so grateful for where I am today. I am so grateful for my morning time that I get up and I start taking thoughts, emotions, captives, that I start visualizing my day, that I start setting my day into a momentum of amazingness, that expecting greatness. When I first started this, and I would say to myself in the mirror every day that something amazing is going to happen to you and through you today, Lona. Something amazing is going to happen to you and through you today. I didn't believe it myself, but I do today. Because you know why? Because I've spent this time training my brain. I've spent this time pulling my bacon up off the the paper towel quickly. I've spent this time making sure that my infections don't go deep. Am I successful 1,000 and 100% of the time? No, I'm human. But I've learned to be okay with that too. I've learned that tomorrow is a new day. I've learned that I am a co-creator in my universe, in my life, that it is up to me, that I don't have to give it away to the thoughts, actions, and attitudes and judgments of others, that I can be my beautiful transgendered self today and run to the mirror excited to see me today. But that didn't come overnight. And I also didn't have anybody sharing these things with me on a daily basis. And that's why I get on and I share these experiences so that you all can see someone who deals with the same things that you all deal with and is winning the battle just like you can. And it is strategy. It is building battle plans. It is learning to find the message in the mess, crawling beneath the pain and digging out the lesson in it. Not wasting pain. Wasted emotional sadness is when we do not find the lesson in the mess. When we do not find the purpose in the pain, that is when it's wasted. And I refuse to have one more wasted moment. One more wasted moment of pain, anguish, or heartache. I refuse to do that. Today, I know that I am on a path to my destined end. And what I have also learned is that the meat and the love and the amazing growth and all of the great blessings come in the middle, in the journey. It's not at the destination, it's in the journey. So if we only keep ourselves focused on the end, we're going to miss the journey. And so revel in the fact that you can be emotional, that your emotions can go up and down and up and down, and then revel in your power of being able to harness those things and turn them into fighting fuel for your journey, fighting fuel for your recovery. Don't give your power away. That is what you should stand up with your flag today and say, I will take my power back by any means necessary. That today I will not live my life for the approval of others. Today I will come closer to my best version of me, to my true, authentic self, whatever that is. And it's only me, not the opinion of others. It is only me that knows that down in my spirit. That today I will walk out into my world strong, powerful. I will walk out excited, ignited, and inspired. My team members, each one of them have come up with some of the most amazing mantras. And these are the mantras that they live by every day to educate and empower the masses. And all of these things, all of these amazing, motivating mantras have been learned and retrained by their spirits and their brains and all of the wonderful things that they allow into their lives. See, our addiction is lived behind a wall of fear. Fear, fear, fear. And fear stops us from enjoying and experiencing true joy in this life. Experiencing true transformation in this life. That is what we have to throw off and say to ourselves, I am fearless. I am powerful. I am amazing. I'm valuable to this revolution. I'm valuable to this movement. I must let my story be known, be told. It doesn't matter the scale in which you tell it. It doesn't have to be to the world on Facebook. You never know who that one person at the bus stop is going to take it to when you feel led to give it. You see, and listen for those leadings. Feel for those leadings, and they will become more vibrant and knowable once we remove the cloud of our perspective. Once we flip our focus, once we begin to find the message in our mess, the power in our pain, once we begin to do that and it becomes a routine in our life, it becomes a conscious habit because our brain is now retrained to find the message in the mess versus just wallowing in the pain. That is where we find true beauty and power. That is where we begin to flip our focus. That is where we take over and take back our power over active addiction. It's not necessarily abstinence that gets us to recovery. Abstinence doesn't even necessarily equal recovery in my book. It is a new mindset, a new willingness to live life your way, in your beautiful way, being your authentic self, living your truth that moves you naturally to abstinence. There will come a time that you will not even want to escape your life because it is so amazing and so great and so beautiful, even if you're in the midst of the junk, even if you're in the midst of the trial, in the storm. It becomes beautiful as well because you know that storm is ultimately working for your good. That storm has a lesson in it. That storm has power in it, and it can move you forward. Whew. What a beautiful day that we're going to have. What a mighty, mighty powerful day we're going to have. I have to get out of here, or else I'm just going to pass out with pure excitement. I am going to eventually have to get someone to hold this camera for me, but I'm afraid that I would move out of focus so much because it is so hard for me to sit here and hold this camera because I truly get excited about life. I truly, truly, truly get fired up about your possibilities, about your greatness, about your value. Because I know I am talking to the game changers. I am talking to life changers. I am talking to world changers right here, right now. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Please have a great hump day. And listen, if you are feeling weak, remember, takes more strength to reach out than it does to sit and hold that in. And it will do more for you to reach out than it will to hold that in. So the moment that you are tempted to hold that in as a little secret, you think it won't hurt you, the way that you start activating your recovery is to reach out anyway. Reach out in spite of your fear. Reach out and tell on those feelings that want to take everything you love about yourself, and ultimately your life. And again, let's live our lives today in honor of each and every soldier that has fallen and given and lost their lives to this dreadful disease, just knowing that they are our army that has our back, that pushes us forward in this revolution, that is bringing us through to the other side to experience our greatness. Thank them, and let's tell their stories. Let's honor their lives. Let's live their legacies, and let's thank them every day for the sacrifice that they've made for us. I adore you all. I love you all, and I believe in you wholeheartedly. You guys are truly amazing, amazing, amazing. So let your beautiful light, your cracked pot, let your flaws shine today. Strut out of your house today knowing that there is not a thing wrong with you, baby, that you are wonderfully and perfectly made just the way you are. Love it, live it, get excited, ignited, and inspired. Go have a beautiful Wednesday. I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you right here tomorrow for Triumphant or Transformation Thursday, whatever we decide. I love you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye.
I dream I know deep up my feelings for you. Watch them grow, perceive